Hey everyone, this is Jen Cunnings, and it's been a long time since I've done a Facebook Live, and I've had some things come into my awareness that I wanted to share today and perhaps even engage in a dialogue with comments. So what I've been noticing, what's been coming up for months now, or years even, is really us being prompted to step into who we are, our true, authentic, powerful self. And we've been discussing this theme in the spiritual community, if you will, about really showing up and not doing things the way other people expect us to do them. We even had a gathering this week with about 20 women who or actually, I take that back, there was 2 men there too, talking about how we are still holding ourselves back and we're not 100% stepping into our true, authentic power. And so this conversation seems to keep going on and on and on. And even though, like, I've noticed in my personal life how I've made changes to step out, being bolder, doing these Facebook Live videos, speaking more of my truth and what comes into my awareness, I do still hold back. And I've noticed that with other people as well. And so there's this overlying fear that seems to be keeping us from really just showing up. And I noticed this particular today with my kiddo. So I'm walking him to school. He's 6. And we're walking to school, and we were having a dance party at the house. And so I've got my phone in my pocket, and I put some, party music on, and we kind of start dancing while we're walking. And then he looks behind us, and he noticed that there's 2 people behind us that had just turned. And so as soon as he noticed that, he tells me to turn it off. Mom, put that away. We can't have fun and show people that we're dancing when we're walking to school. And I'm like, who cares, buddy? It doesn't. We've had lots of conversations about, it's okay just to be you. And if people don't accept you for who you are, that's their business, not yours. And your job as just a human being is to be you, just to be you in your perfect way. So still at the end of the day, he's like, turn the music off. So then we're walking and we get closer to school, and he's complaining that his ankle's hurting. And so I pick him up and I give him a piggyback ride. And so same thing, he's like, first he's having fun. And if we were alone, he'd be all about it. He'd be all about the piggyback ride. But we're getting close to school and his friends are there. And again, being 6 years old, he's so concerned about what other people think of us, what other people think of him. And I get that this is part of, a young person trying to fit in. But I realized that, as he's expressing these concerns about what people think of him, whenever anybody is showing that within themselves and I experience that, I know it's always a reflection of me. So with all of his fears and all of his concerns about people seeing him doing, dancing, being silly, or getting a piggyback ride from mom, he's still worried about the judgment. And so I start to have to ask myself, where else am I concerned about judgment of others? Where else am I still seeking approval? Where am I conforming, who I really am to meet the expectations of other people? What I do for a living, I work with, clients on energy healing, coaching. We do past life stuff. We talk to, guides. We talk to just really very much in a non-traditional type of practice that I have. And so a lot of people don't understand it. And yeah, absolutely, Tina, always worried about what people think. And so even doing what I do took me a long time, leaving the corporate world, to even tell people like, hey, I do Reiki. And they're like, what's Reiki? And I tell them, and they look at me like I'm crazy. And I'm like, it's just, it's just kind of what I've been faced with. But I'm also being guided to step out even more. And so what happened with my kiddo this morning and recognizing, how worried he is, it made me realize how multi-layered this is. We're taught from a very young age from our parents, within the education system, within our friends, to always seek approval. Be more concerned about what other people think of you versus how you feel about yourself. And as much as I try to have conversations with my own kiddo about it, saying like, you can be a leader, you can be weird, you can do things differently, you know, at the end of the day, most people I've been, clients and colleagues are still facing the same thing. So I just wanted to put that out there because it feels like such a big energy right now. It feels like, you know, it's part of every conversation I seem to be having with friends, colleagues, clients about really just showing up as you, as this magnificent, perfect version of you. Even if it may not be perfect, it's still just you. It's still just me. And so I feel like there's a big, you know, push for us to step outside of these limitations and these restrictions and these, you know, boxes that we put ourselves in because, you know, maybe once in our life we did step out of the box and then, you know, we got kicked or we got, you know, judged or criticized. And you know, of course, our biggest judge is our own mind. So I'm just encouraging everybody to recognize where you're holding yourself back in fear, where you might be wanting to do something but not doing it because you're afraid of what other people think. And I thought what we could do just briefly is maybe just take a few breaths and perhaps just see what we might be able to clear energetically for anyone who's watching currently, or I'll probably post this up on YouTube. But I thought we could maybe just walk through, you know, seeing if we can clear some of the energy of fear that holds us back from who we are. See if we can more fully, more wholly is the word that comes in, align with our higher self, align with our true self, not the self that operates from fear, but the self that operates just with love, just with the purity of the existence of who we are. So if you're available to maybe sit back in this moment right now, I would invite you to do that. And I don't really know what we're going to do. So it just kind of popped up that we could do this together. But if you like, just go ahead and take a moment to sit back and close your eyes and just take a few deep breaths. And we're just going to set the intention that as we inhale, we're connecting with the true, pure, loving aspect of ourselves. So just inhale and allow that part of you to connect. Set the intention for your ego, mind, fearful self to connect them, to connect in with the loving, all-powerful, infinite part of you. I was thinking just the other day about how I believe that we're infinite and this life is just kind of a blip on our radar, and so we're here wearing these costumes, and what if we could put these costumes on and just have the most fun that we could possibly have? What if we were able to do whatever we wanted to do in that childlike, light, and fun way? You know, what if we could show up without worrying about what people think of us? What if we could just be and exist in the way that it feels true? We often feel in our bodies when we do things that are a mini betrayal to ourselves. It doesn't feel quite right, but we do it anyway, and then we justify it. So what if we could actually line up with the part of ourselves that knows exactly what we want to do, that knows and feels what is pure and true and authentic? So just breathe in and allow anything in the way of that to release on the exhale. So we're breathing in our true self. We're connecting in with the light of who we are. And then just breathing out any fear, any resistance, anything that we've picked up from other people, anything we've picked up from society, from the collective, that imposes upon you as a certain way of being. So just allowing all that, all the energy, all the thoughts, and all the programs you've picked up from others to just release out of your body with your intention and on that exhale. And I see this as almost like as you inhale, you're bringing in more light. You're connecting into the heart of who you are, allowing that light to fill you up with your breath. So allowing that breath to fill your body up with the light and the truth of who you are. And then on the exhale, just releasing everything that is not pure and true to you. And you might want to practice just bringing attention to your breath in the moments when you feel maybe a pull to do or not to do something, or you feel a fear that holds you back. Bringing the breath in to just allow yourself to come back into a state of home, a state of connection with who you really are. Because that part of us that is true and pure and authentic, it's always there for us waiting. Our intuition, our higher self, the soul aspect of us, it's never something that we need to seek or attain outside of ourselves. It is always within. And so if we allow ourselves some quiet moments to connect, we shut out the busyness, we shut out the distraction, and we just bring our breath back to home, intending to connect to that part of ourselves, and just intending to release anything that is not that pure, true, higher aspect of you. It can help us be more, not just connected, but we can more easily know what our truth is. Oftentimes we defer to others, or we ask advice and we end up relying on what other people share with us, or we read about this or that from reviews or the news. And so this is really about, what do you want? What is your truth? How are you here to show up? So just, I guess, a friendly reminder that there's always an opportunity to connect in and re-establish who you are, your power, your light, and your truth. And I hope that gives you something to play with today, just a little exercise that you can, bring into a moment where you feel maybe pulled in different directions, or if you feel yourself holding yourself back because you're worried or fearful, or, don't feel like maybe that you're worthy of whatever it is you're being guided to do. So hope that was helpful today. Again, I don't even think I introduced myself, but I'm Jen Cunnings. My current website's myheartreiki.com. I'm building a new one, but feel free to message me if you have any questions on that. And I hope everyone is enjoying this beautiful, cool weather. Hope you're feeling empowered and loved and light, and I will see you next time. Take care. Bye-bye.